I'm so proud of you wearing your microphone. You're so cute.
I'm learning.
You're learning. You're such a podcaster now.
I know. I got my microphone. I got my little baby mic. I got like testing 1, 2. And I got, that's really it. I'm like, I got my mic.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dark Collective podcast. And it is me, your host, Miss Red, and my ever so amazing, so luscious other host, Miss Jennifer is here.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here.
You guys, this interview that we have today is so amazing, and we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Yes.
But we wanted to give you guys something we have not been able to talk about for a while.
Ever.
By the time ever, yeah, no, not ever. We have not talked about this at all. And by the time you guys hear this, we will be close to 2 months out, which is crazy. Jen's slightly throwing up, just slightly. So drum roll. I'm not going to use the drum roll sound because Jen will laugh at me too hard. But
remember when you did the drum roll last time and my power went out?
Yep. I'm not going to curse it. Not going to do it. So I actually did not know what this was. Jen had to explain it to me. So Jen, what is an anthology?
So we are doing a Sinners and Stardust anthology. We have 20 amazing authors that wrote short stories. Some of it is a teaser for a book. Some of it is like an extra chapter that might have been in their book. We really gave them free reins. All we said was it needed to be spicy and it couldn't have cheating. That was my only 2 rules. Yeah, so we have 20 authors that are doing it. The book is so beautiful. Like, I love the book. When this gets posted, the pre-order forms will have already been up. We'll have been promoting it, talking about it. And pre-orders will close July 1st. And then once it's got, like, it's an event exclusive, unless some of our authors will be, some of our anthology authors will, like, purchase copies for themselves. But, like, it's not going anywhere. It's not going on Amazon. It's not going to the local thrift store, hopefully. Like, so it will only be available at Sinners.
It is so cool. You guys, I can't tell you how many times that, we have been talking about this for months, but when I saw the final cover, it was breathtaking. And it is so cool. Jen definitely worked extremely hard on this alongside Bethany. And we as a group just are in awe of what these authors can do. It is so impressive. I have not read anything yet. Only Jen has had that privilege. So I cannot wait for myself to get a copy of it and just be able to see it, because I actually did not know what an anthology was. Little baby over here was like, what's an anthology?
I'm like, to be fair, I only learned what one was like probably like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But,
I mean, it's insane because, like, you guys, by the time you guys watch this, pre-orders will pretty much be up for almost all of our authors, I believe. And, I would definitely get on that ASAP. I mean, obviously.
Also, for pre-orders, make sure you're in our Facebook group, because that's where all the authors post their pre-order links. So yeah, just go in there and be like, pre-order.
Yeah. So we are on Facebook at Sinners and Stardust. On Instagram, we are Sinners and Stardust Ball. Yep. But yeah, you guys, like, the anthology is going to be pretty freaking epic, and she chunky. She chunky.
She is 652 pages.
Damn.
She big. She's thick.
She's big.
You can order. All you have to do is go. Like I said, it'll already be available by the time we post this one. It's on our website, so that's where you can pre-order it. It'll be for pickup only. But yeah, you'll be able to go on there, and then you'll be able to take it around to all the authors and get it signed.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun time. I'm super excited.
I'm super excited to see. I just can't wait to see it and feel it in person, which is going to be super exciting.
She's mad too, so she's like,
oh yeah,
that.
I love she's special. Yeah, and you guys, we also have pre-orders for our merch. Make sure you guys check that out. Like, this is volume 1, year 1. Year 1. It's so exciting.
Getting there.
We're getting there. So you guys, we have a pretty short intro today because our interview with Brooklyn's a little longer, but she is absolutely amazing. So officially, Jen, who are we interviewing today?
We have the ever so lovely, the wonderful Miss Brooklyn Cross.
This was definitely an author Jenn was really excited about. And I know that all of us were just stoked to see how excited she was. And it is, you guys are going to love it. So please enjoy Miss Brooklyn Cross. All right, you guys. So please welcome Miss Brooklyn Cross. Hello, my dear.
Hello.
How are you?
I am pretty good.
Good. Well, we're
Don't mind me.
super stoked to have you. I know Jen's super stoked. She's been talking about this interview for a while.
It's like, who can you do? I'm like, Brooklyn.
Yep.
I always feel really awkward in interviews, so don't mind me. I'm just like, hi.
Yeah. Well,
She's like
Brad
hiding
did her
off the
awkward
screen.
silence
I'm like the
filling,
most
so we're
awkward
good.
human ever.
All right, so we're gonna get into answering. We're gonna ask you some questions, and then we'll just take turns, and we'll just go from there. So, first one is, what genres do you write?
Ooh, everything.
Perfect.
Great answer.
Blanket statement. Everything. No. Gray to dark. Both contemporary, PNR, and everything from, oh boy, captive, serial killer, vigilante, academy, mafia. I mean, you name it. Enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, secret baby, forced marriage. Would you like some more?
I'm not gonna lie, like, I knew that
Bully.
you wrote a lot, and then earlier I went onto Amazon, and like whenever you search an author, you can go and like click their name, and then it pops up all their books, and I was like, holy crap, like I didn't realize she wrote this many.
Most people know me for Kane, but it's
Yeah, that's how I
because Kane
found you
just kind of,
originally.
yeah, for whatever, I still don't even understand how that happened, but for whatever reason, Kane just became loved, but I actually have quite a large backlist. So,
We're like, it's
That's
yeah.
a little
awesome.
baby Kane. He's a serial killer. Like, we're like, oh, he's so cute.
Oh my gosh. Actually, an author friend of mine, Tierney, she calls me Mommy Kane. And I was like,
Aw.
that's something I don't think I ever thought I was going to be called in my life. I
I
couldn't.
feel like I'm kind of into it. I've got.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. But yeah, it's not something I ever thought of. Yeah.
It's funny because you were listing off like all the things that you write, and I was literally like, "Oh, that's basically what Jenn describes for all the books that she loves." It's like every single one, you hit every single one.
But like the one thing, I mean, I remember so much from reading that book, but the one thing that like always sticks with me is the bristle brush scene.
Oh,
Whenever, yeah, I won't say any more than that. But
yes.
that one, I was
Yes.
like, "Ooh, that's rough," and then I was like, "Oh,
So I
oh."
always get asked, I always get asked the question where that song came from. The song,
Yeah,
that Abel makes Cain
yes.
sing. So believe it or not, this is really bad. Okay, this is really personal right now. Okay, this is
Okay,
really personal.
safe place. It's totally fine.
Yes. I was actually showering, and I do not know why, but the song just came to me while I was showering.
I'm here
I
for it.
went
You know,
I was like right away. I was like, this would be perfect. I'm like, I came out and I said to my husband, I was like, hey,
you're like,
listen to this song. And I sang it for him in a really weird accent. I don't even know why. And he's like, are you okay? Like,
do we need to call someone?
I think you've reached that point that I need to ask the question, are you okay?
We
So
love a
then,
supportive partner, though.
Right?
At least he was brutally
Right.
yeah,
honest.
I'm
yeah,
like,
exactly.
so
Exactly.
what made
Yeah.
you decide to write about twin serial killers?
You know what? It was actually a joke.
Really?
Of course it was. Of course it was.
It's how all great dark romances start, right?
Always.
It was a joke. Um, so there was a group of us that would sprint together all the time. And one of the other authors, because Tara and I, when we're sprinting together, we tend to evil cackle one up each other.
Oh.
And yeah, so, so it's not good. It's not good for our characters. But at any rate, Yeah, so basically one of the other authors just sort of said, you know, you guys are like evil twins.
She said
Oh.
Ben.
Uh,
Ben.
and that's where it was kind of born, was from that. Because we just sort of went, what would be really fun is to do like twin serial killers. And so then we kind of threw it out there.
Yeah.
Neither one of us really took it super serious at first, but the more got thinking about it, we're like, that could actually be really fun to write.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where they were born. It was out of a joke. We were writing totally different things. Tara was busy writing something to do with I can't remember which book in her Ravens and Wolves series. I was writing. Oh Lord, what was I writing?
One of your 18,000 books.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I remember that far back, and it was like a year ago. I was like, what was I writing? But
There's
yeah,
so
so I was
many.
in the middle of something else, and we just was like, you know what? Let's wrap this up and do this. We'll aim to have a Halloween release.
That's so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So, so I mean, obviously you write dark, you know what I mean? But what inspires you to write dark romance?
Okay. I didn't realize
She said writing
that it was
Sprint
dark
and
romance. So, fun fact about Brooklyn Cross. I didn't know there was a difference.
Oh, we love that. We love that.
I just thought that it was a book that had darker elements. When I started writing, I didn't know that there was, it was really weird because although I had always read Trad Pub and I understood the concept of indie and that there was this whole other world of different types of genres, I was very much on the outskirts of it. So I just started writing whatever I felt
yeah.
Okay.
writing, like whatever character came. So I didn't know that it was dark romance, per se. Like it wasn't like I set out like, oh, I really want to write dark romance. I was just like, these characters feel more real to me
This is just
in a
how
weird
my
way.
head works.
Yeah, this is how my twisted brain works. Let's throw that on a page and see what people say. And if they come with a white coat, I'll know why. That's kind of where I was at.
You're like too far.
No, but it's
Yeah,
so true though, because, we interviewed Jason Pinter, and he's very much more of like the crime world. And he just started getting into,
like
and
great
thrillers. Yeah.
thrillers.
Yep.
And, is just starting to get into that dark romance. And so it's so cool that you're the complete opposite. You're like, I just started writing and it just happened to be dark romance. Like, cool.
Just happened to be there, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure what that says about me actually, so we're
No,
not
no,
going
but
to
it's good
analyze it.
though.
It says
Because
that you're our kind of people, okay?
exactly. Like we said
So,
off screen that I had said that we interviewed A.L. Maruga and she just finished your book and was like raving about it. But one of the things she said, she goes, I love how unhinged she is. Like that is everything. And I was like,
You never know
validated.
what you're gonna read about. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
right. I'm not even look. So okay. My dad used to be a police officer.
Okay.
Some of the stories that he would tell about his time as an officer
Ooh.
would make it blows your brain. Like it just,
Yeah.
I was like, that couldn't have actually happened. He's
My
like,
dad was
oh
a
yeah,
cop
it
too.
happened, right? And like, honestly, the thing, like 911 calls. So like I'm friends with a lot of 911 operators, and that actually, my book read has the main female lead. She's a 911 operator, and I keep getting harassed for this one particular phone message that like comes up in the book, and they're like, oh, this is disgusting, whatever, like a cringe, and I'm like, you have no idea, like that is mild.
It's mild.
You should see the stuff
This
people
is
call
nothing.
in with, and what they do to each other or experiment with. I'm like, no, that's mild. That was mild.
I
Going
felt
for
like no
spicy
one could ever
sausage, it was
relate.
mild.
Dark romance. So
Exactly, yeah. My dad transferred from police to fire,
Oh shit.
and
That's crazy.
yeah, and it didn't get much better. It's
Ugh.
just that it was more like weird accidents and things, or like people accidentally like lighting themselves on fire because they fell asleep with like cigarettes in their hand and stuff like that. And I'm like,
You hear that
and
all
like
the
they
time.
don't,
It's just like, what?
yeah, I'm like, don't do that. Don't
do that.
please don't do that. Like,
Brooklyn's like, and write in book, fell asleep.
Exactly. Like she's like,
asleep.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. All these weird notes. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'll have people ask like, what do you dream about? And I'm like, roller skating.
It's just full of rainbows and sunshine.
And unicorns
There's
and
a
Pegasus.
unicorn, and I was on roller
Cupcakes.
skates.
Do you have a dream journal? Like I know some
Tell
authors
me
like
you have a
wake
dream
up in the middle of
journal.
the night and like write their stuff down.
Can you
No.
please get a dream journal over the next 3 months so at Sinners you can give us a copy of Brooklyn's
Can that
dream
be a Sinners and Stardust exclusive?
Yes. It's going to be a limited edition and rainbow covered.
I'll put a Care Bear on the front.
Like,
oh my God, I have it tattooed on my
stuff.
body. I'll buy it in an instant.
Brad said instant pre-order.
Instant pre-order.
I must know. I have had some really weird dreams, and I wake up and I go, "What the heck?" But like, it's never like violent or like scary. It's just weird.
Yeah, you're like.
But I would be worried if they weren't.
This is true. This is true. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, well, so besides the dream journal that you're going to be bringing to Sinners, what other new books are you working on?
I have too many. So I actually in April I just came out with this one.
Ooh.
So pretty. It's so pretty.
Tell them what you're showing. Because
this is Defiant Night. So this is book 2 in my Wayward Academy series.
Okay.
Oh,
cool. So you are looking at Why Choose, which is MMFMMM.
Oh, okay.
Sassy.
I was like,
sassy.
MMFMMM. Okay. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So how many people are in there?
Extra.
We've got Mafia. You've got a little bit of Secret Society stuff going on. Swim team as well as lacrosse team.
Wow.
Bully.
So they trim and they buff.
Yeah, and book 1 is super angsty. So don't be going into it looking for spice. It's a slow burn, slow build. And the way I've designed it is that like book 1, you kind of see everybody, but there's really sort of like one particular person that ends up being involved with our heroine. And book 2 adds another. Right? Because I wanted to make sure that each book allowed for not only the continuation of the overall story, because they're not standalones, they have to be read in order. But it allowed me to go into depth with the character building for each new character that becomes involved.
Oh, wow.
I like
That's awesome. That's a lot of characters because I counted like 9 M's. M for M.
There's 5 M's and 1 F.
Perfect.
Not in that order.
You're like, he's on the end.
Oh, I love it.
And then, let's see, in July, I have Protective Flocks coming out. It is a Mafia. It's an MF. It is a Mafia. It's a lot darker, a lot spicier, but it's a spin-off. So it's kind of like the Graduates of Wayward. So it's one of the families, and it's the older generation. So you're getting
I love when authors do that. Whenever a couple of my favorite authors do that, where it's like, this series is about, where we start, and then you kind of meet their parents and maybe like a random teacher that they love that you hear a little bit of backstory, and then the next series is about the parents, and then the couple standalones are about the team. Like, those make me so happy because it's just like little Easter eggs you get to put throughout.
Yep. This one's a little different because it's actually the other students, but they're just slightly older students.
Yeah.
And the timeline runs parallel.
Oh, that's interesting. You know what that reminds me of is I just binged Gen V, the show, and I didn't realize that it was parallel to when the boys are happening. And I thought it was a prequel, but it's parallel. And I feel like if I feel like The Boys is like a dark romance book, but just a way effed up superhero book put into a TV show.
I've only seen a couple episodes of that.
I think a lot of the TV shows actually come from dark romance books. They just don't want to admit it.
They just don't say it.
1,000%.
They're like,
Yeah,
Yep.
guaranteed. And then in August, I have a duet coming out with another author, author Melissa McSherry. So it's book 1 and book 2, but the duet is back to back. So book 1 comes out August 20th, which is my book, Bloody Quarter. And then hers comes out August 21st, which is Burning Quarter.
That's so cool. You guys did it that way.
Yeah,
I've
so
never
it's really,
heard of that.
really
So
close.
that's really cool.
Yeah, really close together, and dark. So both of them in different ways, but both of them are serial killers. And yeah, very, very dark. And Kane is going to make a cameo.
Jen's freaking out.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so he
What's the third book in the Buchanan series? Is her name Callie?
Unhinged Callie.
Okay, I was like, I know it's something Callie. I know it is. That's the
Yeah.
one out of that series I haven't got to read yet, but it's gonna be next on my list.
Yeah, so that's his daughter.
Yes. I remember seeing your like teaser videos and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to read this one, and I just haven't got to read it yet. But it sounds so good.
Be prepared. Be prepared. It is very emotional roller coaster, which seems really strange considering it's Kate. But because it's
Right.
Callie and Callie has emotions, you're a little all over the place. So just be prepared.
Okay, I'm so excited.
You have
like,
so many things coming.
I'm gonna read it.
Too many. Yeah. Book 3 for this is coming in September.
I just think it's awesome though because you keep
a beast.
Exactly.
Like,
you are a beast.
You're like, you get a book. It's like Oprah, where she's like, you get a book, and you get a book, and you get a book.
And they're all different because I wrote them all last night, and that's how it is.
In my dream journal.
Pretty much. Yeah. I would be a lot faster actually if I didn't have to work during the day, but I have a full-time
job. So you talk, I mean, you're doing so many things. You literally have a lot of books coming out. You have you have the duet coming out, but you've written so many characters. I mean, do you have a favorite?
Not really.
Okay. That's okay.
I think if I was like really, really forced to choose, that's tough. I'm going to end up with a fight in my head. I can see this happening right now. So I think it would probably be Miles, who is actually from my Wayward Academy. And a close second would be Rise from from Brothers of Shadow and Death from Anywhere.
Okay.
Which is my PNR series. And that's an MMF.
Do you have like a specific reason why they would be your favorite, or you just like enjoyed writing them, or?
They're just really enjoyable characters to write.
Okay. That's
awesome. Like their banter comes really easily. Miles is the type of character that he sort of just verbal diarrheas, like whatever he's thinking. So it's kind of cute because he'll just say things to Ren, and they're just like, for example, in this book, at one point he refers to himself as a Canadian goose because he's trying to.
I just feel like he's trying to honk at women, like.
Oh, because she's Canadian, so he's all like, I'm like your Canadian goose. Like, they mate for life, right? She's just like, what? Like, what is wrong with you? No, do not be a goose.
It's like, it makes me think of like how people are like penguins bring a pebble to like their mate for life. He's like, no, I'm a Canadian goose.
Like,
oh
no,
my God.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Oh,
yeah. So just
hysterical.
he's kind of fun to write that way. Like, he's just says whatever happens to come to his mind. And when you're writing, because I'm a pantser anyway, so when you're writing and a character's just flowing like that, it just makes it really fun. A pantser.
Like you pants people?
Sometimes when it's not illegal.
I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to be the only person that didn't know.
But like, all I pictured when you were like, I'm a pantser. I didn't know if you said I'm a Cancer, like I'm a Sagittarius.
I am too, actually. I am a Cancer too. So there you go. Look at you. So I don't plot. So when you
Oh.
pants, you
Oh,
free
okay.
write.
No, that makes sense though, because okay, so I'm not gonna lie, someone else used that term in an interview, but I wasn't with Jen, I was with
Fred said,
Joy,
uh-huh.
and I was like, okay, sure. But then later on, she started saying how, I don't plot. I write all the dark, messed up things that I want to put in the book, and then I plot around that and I free flow what I say. And so now I get that's what pantsing means. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm saying that
Yep.
right. Okay.
Yep.
Now
Basically,
everyone
it's like I'm
knows.
flying by the seat of my pants.
Oh.
Uh,
It's like the more
they're
you know.
together.
It all makes sense now.
It all makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, we anyone that pantses doesn't plot. And
Oh,
I do similar to the author that you were mentioning. So I write down certain points that I really want to hit. Not
Yeah.
necessarily the dark stuff, but
mm,
just certain things that I really want to hit. It could be a character arc. It could be how I want a particular scene to finish or how I want the book to finish. And then everything else free flows, the conversation, how the chapters start and end, where they start and end, everything else is free flow.
got it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that I'm not just the only person that learned a new term. So did Jen.
Now we know.
I'm happy to help.
Thank
Anytime.
you. Thank you for teaching us. Are you sure you're not a kindergarten teacher?
No, you do not want me to be a kindergarten teacher. All the kids would go home swearing, and the people would be like, "What happened to my child?"
They were like, they were so nice this morning. You're like, I
They
don't
have
know. It's
miniature
so weird.
handcuffs. They have miniature handcuffs, and they're swearing. It's great.
They're like, we had the best day today.
Yeah,
I'm like, speaking of kindergarten. So how long have you been
tired.
writing
Yeah.
for?
Seriously, or like just for pleasure?
Both.
Yeah.
So for pleasure, I have pretty much my whole life. Seriously though, I didn't get serious about writing anything to publish until about 2015, 2014. It was a story that I'd started when I was in high school, and I just picked it back up, and I I just started writing it as one long story. Like there was no plan to publish it. So to me, it was just a form of therapy, really, is what it came down to. I used to competitive ride, so I was actually a dressage rider, and I was from the time that I was 6 until my late 20s, and I ended up having to give it up. But I was like looking to be like an Olympian, so like it's like hardcore,
Oh,
um, like really highly focused type riding and training, and like you live it, you breathe it, you're there all the time, that kind of thing. So when I had to walk away from that world, there was just this sense of loss. Like I didn't know what to do with myself. And I hopped around from job to job. From waitressing to working in factories to I did well pumping tests. That's fun. Not.
wow.
So
Check it out.
yeah, delivery driver, you name it. Like I did everything just trying to figure out what to do with myself because everything from school to training to missing parties, whatever was just on this one task. Um, so I just started up writing again just to kind of give myself some focus because I was just in such a depressed, dark mindset that I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do or how to get out of it. And I decided I was going to publish that book. A friend of mine encouraged me to just publish it because I had let her read some of the story and she fell in love with it. So my original pen name was actually Evie Rhodes. And I brought that book out through a vanity press. And that was not the best experience. But the book itself was a really great story. And I had some help rewriting it, and it was being looked at by a big publishing house. Well, while they were looking at it, I didn't want to stay stagnant, but I didn't want to bring anything else out under that pen name.
Mhm.
So I hadn't written anything else at that point, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to write something else. I'm going to bring it out under a different pen name, so that way then I can at least keep writing, and I'm not just sitting here waiting for an answer, right?
Yeah.
And that's when Brooklyn Cross was born. So I brought out Dark Side of the Cloth September 3rd, 2021, and I now have this one is not book 19
Holy crap.
since then.
So when I said 18,000, I was close.
You're close.
I was close.
You're close.
Like, it was like her MMMF
Yeah.
one. No. I'm like MMF MMM.
Yes.
So that was your 6
Got it.
total.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy story though. I mean, has it been like, was it a hard transition though to go from one pen name to Brooklyn Cross?
Well, I wasn't really known,
Oh, gotcha.
right? Like I
Okay.
had one book out with a Vanity Press that was,
Yeah.
you know, like it was put wide. I decided to take it down and rewrite it. I got a writing coach. You know, she's supposed to be an editor, but she actually ended up being like a personal coach to me. Which was beautiful. Like sweet human. Took us a year to rewrite that book that I was mentioning. And I'm actually going to relaunch that series because I have over 2 million words written in that series.
Holy crap.
I actually broke Word.
Oh, that's awesome.
That word said absolutely not.
Not, we're
like,
cutting you off.
Done. You are done. No more words for you.
So we're taking your account away.
Yeah. It stopped counting. It stopped doing like spell check. It just stopped working. So I'm breaking it up into sections and going to come out with it as a series. But I'm having to do a little bit of rewriting with it because it was written mostly in third person.
Oh, okay.
And I'm rewriting it to first as I go, along with everything else.
All I picture is, do you guys remember Clippy? Like the little
yes,
little
the
paper
paper clip
with the face? That I just pictured like him popping out whenever you're writing and he's like, no, stop it. We can't handle this.
He like folds over, just gives me sad
blood
face.
starts spewing out like I'm dead, literally.
Yeah. The little dog runs across panting at me and stuff like no, it was
Oh no.
It was not a good scene. It was not a good scene. With the day that Word stopped working, I was like, no. Because then I had to like break it up into sections and start saving it as separate pieces.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god, that must be annoying.
It's a really long book.
So you have a full-time job. You're writing like 7 books or 8 books, you know, by the time this year is done. So we usually ask, what are you reading? But let's rephrase that to, what do you want to read very soon?
Oh boy, I have so many.
Very far future.
Exactly.
Actually, so I really want to finish PH Nexus series because I only got to read book 1.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to finish
I've heard
reading.
amazing things about her series.
Yes, and I really, really, really want to finish reading her series. I've only managed to read The Ritual. I would like to read the rest of that. This is when it ends to happen. I'm like, I got book 1 done.
Yeah.
No, but we feel you. We feel you. Like,
hey.
Yeah, I do. I have a massive TBR. I just picked up Ari Bond's Savage King, The Savage King. I just picked up that book, and I'm like, why did I pick up something else that's now leading into another series when I know that I'm only going to get to read book 1?
See, I always end up picking books. Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to read 50 books this year. And then I'll go, oh, I am 10 books behind schedule. Let me start this book. And it's like an 900 page book. And I'm like, why? Just read some novellas. Just read some novellas. But every single time.
When I do have time to read, when once upon a time when I had time to read, I actually love the chunky books.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Love it.
Yeah. One of my favorite series is that got me interested in reading again was Terry Goodkind's
Sword of Truth series.
Yes.
No, I own all of them. They're up on my shelf.
Same.
That's literally the series that got me into reading. I started reading them in
Yes.
8th grade with my mom and my brother. And
She
that is
talks
my
about this in almost every
listen.
episode. Like she
I
loves
love
this
it. I'm
series.
I almost
obsessed.
named my daughter Kaylin because I
Really?
love the
I'm
series
obsessed.
so much. It's so good.
I would high
Literally,
five
as
you.
you were
I would
like,
hug you if I
I
could
was
hug
like,
you through the.
please say Terry Goodkin. Please say Terry Goodkin.
Yep. Oh, and you know what? Honestly, if I was brave enough, I would totally go to a Comic-Con done up as a Mortset. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's so good. Like you would love it, Red. It's so
It
good.
starts off. I have to say, book one starts off slow. You
Yes.
have to
It's a
give
lot
it
of
because
world
there's
building.
so much world. Oh, so much world
Yeah.
building. But
Yeah.
once you
But
get
that's
about
okay.
halfway through book one, you're hooked. Like
Yep.
you're just
Okay.
you're hooked on this world. Like
Mhm.
Well,
it's so cool.
I've been wanting to at least read book one because Jen talks about this series in almost every podcast. And I'm like,
Oh,
I need to fucking just read it. Like,
you do. It's a big book, but it is
Yeah.
good.
And it's a
And they
lot of books.
it is a lot of books. Yeah, be
It's a lot.
prepared. Like it is a lot of books.
But it's worth
But
it. It's so worth it. So when you're not writing, what are some fun things you like to do? You're like,
what do I like to do? Well, let's see. I
roller
spend
skating.
you do not want to see that. Okay, so let's be clear. I don't do anything that involves me being on my feet and moving fast. Okay. There is no water skiing, skiing,
she's
rollerblading.
like a competitive water skier.
Oh my God.
If I'm on my butt, I'm fine. It sounds so dirty, but if I'm on my butt, I'm fine.
Competitive water
Standing,
tuber.
yeah,
Oh my God.
standing, not so much. Not so
Got
much.
it. So no
Yeah,
sports. Got it.
no stand up sports.
Perfect.
Let's see. What do I do for a break? Oh my God, I don't even know what I do for a break
She's like,
anymore.
take naps.
I spend a lot of time with my dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
We're tight. We're tight. He's a rescue.
Aw.
He is a black lab Staffordshire something or other mix. Like he was a rescue. Actually, his
Yeah.
mom was at a kill shelter, and the rescue agency goes in and they try and take as many dogs as they can that they feel they can rehome.
Yeah.
And his mom was taken, and when they put her, like, took her to the vet to have her checked out, the vet's like, "Do you know that she's pregnant?" And they're like, "No, we did not." But okay, yeah, and she had 9 puppies,
Oh wow.
and he was one of the puppies.
Aw.
So he's
Brooklyn
super cute
Cross
though.
saves the day. I
I
love it.
I only get rescues. He's like he's
Aw.
my 5th rescue now.
Oh wow.
No,
I love that. I grew
so
up with
Well,
rescues. My first dog, her name was Freckles, and she was like a husky something mixed with 10 over their dogs. She was the
yep,
perfect dog ever. She was so wonderful. I loved that
no,
dog. She was
I do.
just I got
I love getting the rescues. I like to just chill, actually. You know, like have a coffee with a friend.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes I'll catch up on a little bit of TV, but I don't tend to watch a whole lot of TV. I'll sit and plot. Like by plot, I mean like just write down random thoughts
like this
that
could
just
maybe be a book.
Yeah,
Something.
you
yeah
should write about like a sexy, team of serial killers that do a podcast.
to a podcast. Everybody
That's
that
how they
joins the
find their
podcast goes missing.
victims.
Our
Should I
interviewees are
be
our victims.
concerned?
You should. Like don't
Yes.
look outside your house. Or
Um,
two.
yeah, you know what, honestly, I am so boring. I am so boring. I
You
used
are
to
not
love
boring.
traveling. That was my thing. I loved traveling. Now I
Mhm.
hate traveling, and I have to do more traveling now than I've ever did before.
Because
Right.
people
So,
love you and they want to meet you.
except
Where are you
I'm like
from?
at the airport having like,
You're like, I don't like it.
don't lose my bag. Don't cancel my plane. Please. Like, that's where I end up. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So are you from, like, where do you live?
I live in Ontario, Canada.
You are the
Oh,
third person from Canada I've interviewed in 2 weeks. That is insane.
we're dark here.
Yeah,
We're
you
dark.
are. You guys get free healthcare, so you go nuts.
We do. We're free to dream, baby.
Right.
Oh my god.
Living the Canadian dream up there. Free
That is
health.
Where do they put in
crazy.
their water?
No, I literally this morning I interviewed Alicia Williams, and she lives in Alberta.
Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, because I kept catching the oot in your talk, and I was like, "She from Canada."
You say oot?
It's like oot.
Yeah. I'm surprised
About.
I haven't done A on you yet.
No,
But
I haven't heard that yet. But I kept catching the O, and I was like, yeah, that's
I'm
Canada.
like, the hockey romance
yeah.
I'm reading right now, she's from Canada, so same. I got you. But no, she says a lot in it.
Yeah. We use it whenever somebody says like why do you say it? We use it like punctuation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like a question mark or like an exclamation mark typically.
Oh.
So
That
like
makes
you know what I
sense.
mean, eh?
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense now.
Like, now that you say it, now I'm never gonna see it any other way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
question mark.
Yeah. It's like question mark,
Question.
you know what I mean, eh?
They're gonna be like, who taught that? I'm like, Brooklyn Cross.
Exactly. You just taught us something. You are a kindergarten teacher. You just don't even know it yet. Okay. So you again have so many things happening, but you said you casually started writing like your whole life, but professionally in like 2015.
Mhm.
So if you could tell yourself something back then, like something you could have learned earlier in your professional writing career, what would that be?
That you can.
Oh,
I love that.
So
Short and sweet. Just
yeah.
boom.
yeah, well, um I am, and most people don't know this, but I am actually highly dyslexic.
Oh.
Like very, very dyslexic. So if also school, and it's a different type of dyslexia too, because I actually like will invert whole sentences
Oh.
or I will invert like part of a sentence. So if, the sentence should properly read, the car is blue, I'd be like, the blue that is the car. Like you actually
Okay.
write it down wrong,
Yeah.
but your mind reads it right. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
just like taking a word out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go to Sick Kids Hospital when I was younger for testing and stuff. And they found that I'm partially deaf in my right ear. So I always had to sit at the front of the class, which was great. And that I have short-term deficit disorder. So what ends up happening is like you could say I'm Red, you could say I'm Jen. Tomorrow I won't remember. I'll have to specifically say your names over and over and over again to remember who is who.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So school was awkward because it's like to study, you have to like write everything down, read it again, write it down again, read it again, tell yourself, close your eyes. Like it just became like studying wasn't normal for me. Like my friends would all be like, oh, they just read it and they could go in and write a test. And, like it was like arduous. So that's part of the reason why writing was so important to me because I didn't have to talk. I didn't have to write. I could
Mm-hmm.
just like my horse communicated with me by, you know, physical touch and just little cues, body language. It was I didn't have to rely on trying to say things properly. And I had a lot of whether it be like other students you go to school with or teachers or whatever that just kind of was like writing is not going to be something that you will ever do, like because I was that bad at it. So
Mm-hmm.
but I have to give my mom a lot of credit because she forced them to hold me back. um I was I was at such a poor reading and writing level, and yet they wanted to just push me on that I was learning to fake it really well. But my mom knew that I couldn't write, like I couldn't read basic words. So she forced them to hold me back, got me into a special program, and then she sat with me every night. And at the time I hated her, but she sat with me every night and did flashcards and different writing exercises. And so when I got to high school, and I'm not going to say that it was better. Like it was a struggle all the way through school. But at the time, I just didn't. I just thought I can love this and I can do it for me, but I'm never going to try and publish because I wouldn't want to embarrass myself like that. And later on, now that I'm older and I look back on that, I really wish that I had just went, no, you know what? It's something that I love to do. And even if I have to fight through it, I'm going to figure out a way. But to anybody that's a new author, the one thing that I would say to them is make sure that you surround yourself with good people and do your research, because there are great resources out there. Don't just jump in, find a great team. There are so many beautiful people in this book community. And you don't know that when you're first getting into it. It's so vast. But once you've been in it for a little while, you get to meet great editors and, book designers and great people like yourselves that are doing these, amazing events. And there's so many wonderful people. And when you're first getting into it, it's all like it's a totally new language. So you feel so overwhelmed. And I would just say, take some time, really research everything. Find, like, again, I think probably one of the two biggest things is find yourself a great editor that you can work with, that you can bounce ideas off of and you can trust, and a great cover designer. And if you can afford a cover designer, because you can always make your own, but if you can, it makes a big difference, because you can go out right away and just look professional and polished and into the community if you can. So yeah.
That's fantastic.
Really, that's sort of a long story there. Sorry.
No.
We love it. Like, we were like literally sitting here, like hanging on every single one of your words, like more.
Yeah. So if I'm ever being interviewed, I'm talking fast, you'll catch it sometimes, because I still do it. I purposely slow down my speech to talk, which is why, because everyone asks me, well, can you do dictation instead of typing?
Oh, and you can't.
And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when I go back and listen to it, it doesn't make an ounce of sense.
You're like, what?
I ask myself, what was I smoking?
You're like, I know what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
No, look, we, obviously, like, the podcast is a great way for people who don't know you to get to know you. And we love it when we get those personal moments, because that's not something you're ever going to see online on an Instagram or TikTok feed, So thank you. Like, at least, like, thank you. I'm very happy to hear it.
Oh,
we always love listening to like authors' answers to that question. It's like one of my favorite ones is whenever they answer, because it's I don't know, I feel like that one is always so heartwarming. Like whatever the author says, it's just like, yes, tell me more, tell me all of it.
Well, I hope too that I know that the school systems have changed a lot, and they're recognizing that people learn differently now, which is great. And I just hope that if there's even one person that's out there that sort of has that same thought, that they just go, no, I'm going to just keep going for it. I'm just going to keep trying. I've got stories that I want to tell, or whatever it is that they're doing in their life that they think that it's going to hold them back.
Yeah.
Just go for it. Just do it.
It's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You don't publish, or you don't hit your goal, but at least you tried. And then you can also always try a different way. Like, sure, that way didn't work, but try it this way. But at least you tried.
When I was in high school, I mean, Facebook wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
Right? let alone the idea of self-publishing a book. So, it's different times, which is great for people that are coming along and wanting to do it. I'm not going to say that it's easier. There's still so many hurdles to overcome, but they're different hurdles. The hurdles that, that I would have been looking at that point, vastly different. Like, you had to go trad pub, and I mean, Amazon wasn't born then, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I know these kids don't get it. I'm like, Amazon wasn't always here, babe. It wasn't always here.
Can you imagine trying to publish on MySpace though? Like trying to promote your book on MySpace?
No.
You're like playing songs from your book playlist on your page. So, what are you most excited about for Sinners and Stardust?
Meeting everybody, actually. I am a very normally introverted person, but I'm like, I am going to go. I'm going to actually meet people, be social,
Say hi.
say hi. I'm going to like hug people, and it's going to be great.
I know you said hug, but it sounded like you said honk. I
Honk.
was like, are we being
It's the
Canadian
goose.
again?
It's the Canadian. It's the Canadian.
Oh, I love
Like,
that.
Brooklyn, I'm sorry, we're going to have to
Yeah.
ask you to leave. You've been honking too many people. We're uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
So what you're saying is you do not want me to bring like an old fashioned like bell horn and sit it on
I
my
1,000% want you to bring an old fashioned bell.
bring like a cowbell or something now, you know?
Oh,
Every
definitely.
time you need something, you just honk it. And I just come running over. I'm like, what do you need? Like, I just needed to honk it.
The spot looks beautiful, by the way.
Oh,
I'm really excited to see the location in person because the
Thank you.
pictures are gorgeous.
Oh, it's so pretty. I'm obsessed with both of our venues right now.
but no, it's gorgeous, and the people that we're working with are really amazing. And it was so funny because when I was the one like calling around trying to find a venue, really early on. This was over a year ago now, and I was like, Boston Park Plaza, is that the same? Yep, that's the same plaza from Home Alone 2 in New York. And I was like, they're not going to be down for this. They were like, come on, we love it, bring it here.
Bring
and we were
it
like,
on.
okay.
Bring it on.
Like, are you sure? They're like,
I know.
we
Yes.
love you.
We love you.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it does. It looks stunning. And yeah, no, I'm easy to please. I'm just excited to go. I was so happy to get an invitation. I'm just happy to be there and meet everybody. And
I was so excited when you signed up. There's so many times I'm like fangirling. I'm always like, I like send it to our group chat.
I would have signed up again for next year, but I have 2 that are international ones next year.
Oh yeah.
And I'm already like hyperventilating at the cost. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
am I sure that I can do this?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Because last year was my first year ever being a vendor for any event, like a vendor. And I did one. And then for 2024, I was like, I'm just gonna sign up for a bunch, because like I'm a new shop. Like I'm probably not gonna accept it. And then I got into 7, and I was like, we can make this work. and I accepted all of them. They're all in the U.S. though, so at least like one is only 45 minutes from my house. Another one was like 6 hours, so I could drive to it. And I'm very lucky that I have my friends that go with me, so they're my assistants. So I have my little comfort. I always call my comfort characters with me. So I have them.
Your support humans.
Yes, I need those.
Yes.
so yeah. So next year we're probably not going to do as many because it was a lot.
Yeah,
It
was a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. 7 is a lot.
Yeah,
and
I can't imagine though doing international ones, like having to like ship all your stuff and like.
Yeah.
I'm just not a huge plane person, and the flight to go to Babe is terrifying me.
Oh.
Because I have to go from in total, because there's so I have to fly from Toronto to Vancouver and then from Vancouver out. So between the 2 sections is something like 27 hours or something like that. 25, 27
when
hours.
When I fly 4 hours, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I want to play.
Well, and
I would have to
they're so far ahead in time, right?
It's
so
literally
when you
time
land,
traveling. It's literal time travel.
Yeah, and I don't do bugs of any
like
kind.
in Australia.
So when they're the size of my face, becomes concerning.
There's just so many things that can kill you there, like in and out of the water. Like I will never dip a pinky toe in the water of Australia ever.
They are a whole different breed there.
Yeah.
My main cover designer, she is Australian, and she's always like, "It's fine, it's fine." I'm like, okay, listen, you have a pet huntsman in your house. Let me tell you how we differ.
She's like, yeah, we just snuggle. We just snuggle.
Oh my God.
But you want, it's like sitting there watching TV with us. I'm like, that's nice. No.
I would poo my pants if a freaking huntsman
you have no idea how fast that house would be burnt to the ground.
The flamethrower ignite.
I'm like, no, and I can't even swim away because you have the biggest sharks in the world.
And crocodiles. They're like, do you want to be eaten by the great white or the crocodile? Or
they have kangaroos on steroids.
Yeah.
Like literally everything there is like to me, like they're like, no, but you've got bears, and I'm like, and moose, and I'm like, okay, let me ask you how many times I've seen a bear or a moose in my life. Okay,
I've seen
like
0.
none,
Not at a
Exactly.
zoo.
none.
Same.
Yeah, and the things that come into your home, the snakes that are hanging off your roofs, I'm like,
Or the
no,
toilets. Or just
the
on the
toilet
walls.
in your shoes. One of my
They're
girlfriends,
on like the underside of the toilet.
yeah,
Like,
my one girlfriend moved there. She married somebody that's from Australia, so she moved there. She sent me a photograph of that they have like a netting over the bed, and she sent me a photograph of this spider that was like, I don't know, like it was massive, it looked huge, but on the netting, and that's
I
what
would
she
have
woke
died.
up to. And I'm like, okay,
My soul
let me
would
be
have left.
clear.
No.
I'd probably get up like 4 times in the night to go pee. I now need like a catheter because I'm not getting out from underneath.
You're just like this. It's like that meme where it's like, and I looked at her.
She looked at him.
I am not moving. I am
Oh
not
my
getting out
God.
while that is there.
Oh my god. Yeah, I
So
would
yeah,
not. I'd be
no,
afraid to jump at me. It's like,
I am. I'm physically terrified to go. It'll probably be completely fine. It'll probably be fine. I'll probably have a great flight, and I won't see anything creepy.
nope.
But
Put it out there in
but
the universe.
that's what I'm
Miles
doing.
only.
I'm putting it out there. But I just, yeah. On the same token, I'm like, it would be me that would have something weird happen. It would that,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh,
So
hey.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
But we are stoked to have you at Sinners. I know a lot of our attendees are really excited to meet you. And you also get the cool author meet and mingle where you get to like hang out with all your fellow dark romance lovers. Where I'm going to be
Yay.
a fly on the wall watching that happen because I'm going to be excited just to be like, look, they're meeting. That's exciting.
Oh my god, that just made me think of like freaking Steve Irwin. He's like, look at them, the authors. They're meeting for the first time.
In their
Let's watch.
natural habitats.
Oh my God. Can we please play that as the authors walk in their natural habitat?
It's gonna be a new series that we create. It's like a whole thing that we do at Sinners.
Oh my gosh.
That would be
Yeah.
wonderful.
All right, Miss Brooklyn Cross. Well, I already said it, but my face hurts from laughing. I am so happy that we did this. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I had so much fun.
Yes, I had a blast, and thank you for coming on. I can't wait to officially meet you in person in like 3 months.
I can't believe it's come that, like, it just seems like it's just rushing up now. It really does.
Yeah.
But thank you both so much for having me. I am extremely excited about Sinners. So, yay.
So,
Can't wait.
Miss Brooklyn, how do we find you on socials?
So the two main ones that I'm on are Instagram and TikTok. So, the apps are pretty much the same. Instagram is author underscore Brooklyn Cross, and TikTok is just author Brooklyn Cross. No,
Awesome.
no underscore. So,
Well, that's easy to find. That's easy. So make sure you guys check out the amazing Brooklyn Cross on all socials, and make sure you guys tune in to the Dark Collective podcast every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern. We are literally on every platform. So again, we'll see you guys at Sinners the 16th through the 18th, 2024. See you soon, guys.